Okay, good evening everyone and welcome to our Let's Talk Digital Aligners. You're all very welcome and thank you for joining us this evening. It's great to have so many of you joining us from many locations. So just to start off tonight, my colleague is going to pop a poll up, and if you wouldn't mind all completing that first of all, please. Super. Thank you so much for filling in the poll. Now, just before we get started, some housekeeping rules. If I could ask you all kindly, please, to mute your speakers. This will help our presentations run smoothly. Now, we want tonight to be nice and interactive, so please do ask lots of questions. Just pop them into the chat and we'll have a Q&A session at the end. Our agenda this evening, I'll introduce you to our speakers, then we'll have a look at the market and the digital aligners within the market. Then we'll hear from our key speakers on their experience within digital aligners. Then we'll look at how you can choose the right aligner provider. Then we can have a look at how Dentsply Sirona can support you on your digital journey. Then we'll have a Q&A session. So as mentioned, my name is Emma Guy and I'm the Key Account Manager and SureSmile Specialist for Dentsply Sirona. I'm based in Ireland and I've been with the company for over 12 years. Also joining me tonight is my colleague Libby Fields, who is also a SureSmile specialist, and Libby has been with the company for 2 years. So our guest speakers tonight, we have Dr. Daniela Aggio and Dr. Josh Rowley. Dr. Daniela is a specialist clinician based in Sao Paulo in Brazil. Dr. Daniela actively teaches at the Dental Academy for Dentsply Sirona in Brazil, specialising in CEREC Ortho and also SureSmile. She's an active member of the Brazilian Association of Orthodontics and is a national and international speaker. And Dr. Josh Rowley is our specialist orthodontist and orofacial cosmetic dentist based in Edinburgh. Dr. Josh has a background in advanced restorative dentistry and has recently completed his doctorate in orthodontics. He has worked alongside many leaders and pioneers in the dental industry. So Dr. Daniela and Dr. Josh, you're very welcome this evening. Thank you for joining us. So let's have a look at the market and digital aligners. Going digital has never been more appropriate than now, with all the change we've experienced this year and will continue to experience in the weeks and months. This is why practices that aren't already digital are losing advantage fast, not just in patient appeal, but most importantly in quality, precision, adaptability and speed. In the current environment we find ourselves in, and in an already rapidly changing marketplace, it pays to be at the forefront of technology and adopt a 100% digital workflow. So why go digital with digital aligners and why now? It's such a hot topic. So in this section, we'll look at the market trends of aligners and what this means for you. Let's have a look at just how big the market is. In 2019, 92% of the global invisible orthodontic market share was represented by clear aligners, and only 4% respectively for lingual and ceramic braces. The market share is growing rapidly and clear aligners continue to dominate. We can see in the first chart here that global invisible orthodontic sales, which for clear aligners is predicted to be more than double from 2019 to 2024. And broken down into type in the chart on the right, we can see just how steep that curve is, from about $250 million in 2019 to about $550 million in 2024. And this final chart, it reinforces the trend in digital dentistry and the adoption of fully digital workflows from 2010 through to 2017. And we expect that difference to be even greater now, with an even greater difference in adoption of digital practices. So on that note, let me hand over to our first speaker this evening, Dr. Daniela, and hear how she has incorporated SureSmile into her practice. Daniela, over to you.
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you so that I can share with you my experience and clinical practice in digital dentistry. I am a doctor who loves the CAD/CAM system, and I have worked with CEREC for 7 years. I had the opportunity of having and exploring many different scanners from Dentsply Sirona, BlueCam, OmniCam, and now currently PrimeScan with a highly revolutionary technology. I have a clinic in São Paulo, Brazil, with a team of 10 dentists with many odontological specialties. And today I integrate all these specialties with digital dentistry. The scanning with PrimeScan is easy, fast, and accurate. I work with the Connect system when I do a scanning and send the digital file to a partner lab, and also work with the chairside system when I scan, plan, mill, and finish the procedure in a few hours. The digital flow allows me to integrate prostheses, implants, orthodontics, and restorations. This is a great game changer, the integration. With PrimeScan, using the Connect software, I send a STL file, which is an open file, or with Connect Case Portal with valid files, I forward the files to partner labs for the making of aligners, trays, orthopedics, prostheses, and others. With CEREC Ortho, I can also send different files and go beyond. I can do model analysis, orthodontic treatment simulations, and forward the files to partner labs. And we also have the possibility to use the SureSmile platform for aligners, guides, and much more. On CEREC Ortho, I can show the patient the treatment simulation, suggestion, the arch expansion, the dental movements one by one or in group, simulate the dental movements with the view of the occlusal contacts, and simulate treatments always in the very first visit of the patient. The file exporting portal is complete, and it has many companies connected there. The submission of the file is easy and quick. And now, with SureSmile, the possibilities are limitless because the doctors can choose how they want to work. They have the power to decide in their hands. On the first visit, the patients are scanned and they already make the orthodontic documentation, and with the treatment simulation, they already have an idea of the future treatment. The digital file is sent to the SureSmile platform. The doctors can create their own planning or ask for the planning or of the technicians. The doctors can ask for the full aligners or do it yourself. They can also ask for brackets, transfer trays, robotically bent arch wires, planned orthodontic surgeries, and make advanced diagnostics. What do I love about SureSmile Ortho? I have the option to choose ADB, do-it-yourself aligner staging, full-service aligner staging, or advanced diagnostics. You have the freedom to work with hybrid systems. You can start with aligners and finish with brackets or vice versa. The decision is yours, doctors. The doctors decide the treatment plan. And for me, that's essential. With SureSmile, I can study and discuss clinical cases with other doctors. The clinical education is continuous and really dedicated to the doctor growth. The tools are amazing. The software is in constant development, always improving. For example, in this case, I can work with predictability in aligners in children's. With the build-up tool, I can plan the gaps for the future eruptions of the permanent teeth. With SureSmile, I can see crowns, bones, and with CBCT integration, I can see roots and other bone structures. I work with more certainty, both for me and for my patient. With SureSmile, I visualize the face by pupillary line, facial midline, and plan dental movement with full view. The adjustment of the dental midline becomes more precise. In my 18 years of experience with aligners, I can tell you that my greatest difficulty was to centralize the midline without having the face integrated in my planning. I can pre-plan restorations and prostheses for aesthetic finishing touches after the treatment with aligners. With SureSmile, I can see the Show Lip Trace tool that allows me to visualize the dental exposure in relation to the lip during the smile. I can simulate treatments without extractions and with extractions, so that the patient decides with me and understands the plan. For me, SureSmile is great to plan and to treat patients safely, to have maximum visualization of dental, bone, tissue, and facial structures, and to have the best orthodontic tools with high technology software. A very important detail is the reduction in the number of attachments and IPR. Consequently, a more precise and conservative treatments. Both the planning software and the aligners are unique. As a KOL, it was everything I expected from Dentsply Sirona. This is my universe of integration, of specialties, with Prime Scan, many softwares, Prime Email, Speedfire, Hub, InLab, and others. Only the orthodontic platform was missing to complete my digital clinic. Now I have the option to work with Connect and chairside with SureSmile. I have been waiting for this for 7 years, doctors. Now I can really fly. This patient had many anterior diastemas and conoid teeth, and he arrived at the clinic looking for aesthetics. Note that an implant was placed during the orthodontic treatment. Prostheses were made with CEREC prior to the treatment with the aligners. In planning the completion of orthodontic treatment, I opted to increase the dimension of the lateral incisors, and 2 prostheses were made using chairside. Observe here the readjustment of the smile and the very natural result. And these are the final control photos of the patient 1 year after treatment. This is other patient. This is a patient with agenesis on the upper lateral incisors. The proposed treatment was use of aligners and total rehabilitation of the upper and lower arms. In the region of tooth 1.2, it was possible to install an implant, but the same was not possible in the region of the tooth 2.2 because of the inclination of the roots of the teeth beside. This is an interesting case because it was started with aligners and finished with prostheses made with CEREC chairside system. The importance of work with orthodontics before aesthetics and functional rehabilitation of the smile is the treatment is not done in parts. The entire plan was created on the first visit. This helps a lot with the logistics because most of the time the orthodontic treatment is done and then the patient is sent to the rehabilitation. Working with integrated specialties, the benefits will always be to the patient. There were 5 orthodontic attempts with other professionals. Their big mistake was a unique and exclusive view of orthodontics. Doctors, open your minds because today digital dentistry allows us to integrate all specialties. Orthodontics is amazing, but in most cases, it will need to be completed by other specialties. So integrated pre-planning is the key to success. Dentistry integrated with the digital flow enable us to offer the best results to our patients.
Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, each one she passes goes, ah.
With SureSmile, I can say that today, I'm a complete digital dentistry. This is my professional achievement. Because of that, I am very happy with Dentsply Sirona because it revolutionized and transformed the life of my patients and mine too. Thank you, Dentsply Sirona. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much, Daniela, for your presentation and for sharing your beautiful work with us. It's great to see how you also have incorporated SureSmile and a full digital workflow into your everyday practice. So thank you.
Here we go. Is my screen available for everyone to see?
Yes, Josh, we can see your screen.
Perfect. And just out of interest, can you see my mouse as well, or not my mouse?
Yes, I can see your mouse.
Cool. Right. I will just minimize all that. So yes, thank you guys for joining this evening. I'm going to focus a lot of my presentation on the actual Aligner, SureSmile Aligner platform itself. There we go. A little bit of background about myself. As mentioned, I'm a specialist orthodontist, and I also still perform some general and mostly cosmetic dentistry. A lot of orthodontists, they tend to just focus just on moving teeth, whereas I like to have a little bit of both, and I feel that they complement each other quite well. I have been using SureSmile now for over a year and a half now, having probably done something close to about 40 or 50 cases. I work in 2 clinics. I work at the Southside Dental Care, in which I work in the actual Southside Orthodontic Clinic itself, providing both health service and private orthodontics there. And I also work in a cosmetic dental center called Bite Dentistry, where I provide all-round care for my patients. I had the privilege this year of being able to go over to San Diego for the SureSmile conference, which was back in February before COVID struck, hence why we're all sitting very close together and enjoying ourselves. So, but it was great to be able to meet like-minded people. It's amazing how much I saw actually from as potentially one of the early users of SureSmile in the UK. It was great to see how big it was in the States and all over, and even other countries, even in Europe. You know, SureSmile's been around for a long time. It's something which is something which is been around for so long now, and actually it's developing every single year. It's been brought out, and it was great to see the new software that was brought out at the meeting. I think it was the SureSmile version 7.6, I believe, or 7.4. I can't quite remember, but it's all live and active now, and it's great. I'm going to show you some bits and pieces this evening. Cool. So like I said, today I'm going to show you a bit about the actual aligners themselves and how aligners are taking over even from the fixed braces market. And I'll show you a little video here. So SureSmile aligners, they are incredible to work with in the sense that they provide patients with a great kind of invisible approach to orthodontics. They're one of the clearest aligners on the market. You can see the marketing which we use in the clinic. It's helped me grow the practice tremendously over the number of the few years that I've been using it. And it's able to provide a service which to the patients is a total service, which provides all the aligners in a single kind of box, and it provides all the information that they need to be able to start and finish their cases really efficiently. It obviously works very closely together with the Prime Scan and the CEREC Ortho scanners as well, such as the Omnicam, which one might be using. There we go. But those might ask, why did I choose to use SureSmile? And for me, I suppose a lot of people ask me this, and from the very beginning, the practice that I work in have been very close with Dentsply in particular. And we've had the scanners available, we've had the milling units available to us, and the furnaces available. So we've always been very heavily involved with Dentsply, and it was just a natural kind of progression for me to work with the SureSmile Aligner system. The aligners themselves have incredible clarity. The actual material itself I'll go into talking about in a second. The workflow from start to finish works with the scanners very well. It gives me an open access system, which allows, even if I wasn't using the Dentsply scanners, it does allow me to still import and use the scans to make the SureSmile aligners themselves. Like I said, they've been around for so long, and the ability of the technicians to plan the case, to its perfection is great. And it's so easy to actually start the treatment and being able to show the patients exactly what they're going to get out from it from the very beginning, before you've even paid anything, or before they've even paid anything, I should say. So as you can see, looking at the clarity, these are some pictures of patients that I took a picture of just in the last couple of weeks that actually showed, because they were kind of amazed at how clear they were. And actually, even with the ring flash and the close-up macro lens that we used, even still, you know, you look very close and you think, is there actually something over these teeth? I think it's incredible. So providing a solution to a patient which is almost invisible in comparison to some of the other aligner brands out there. And, you know,
Josh, you've muted there.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, back on. I don't know what happened there. Sorry. There we go. Go back on there. Is that okay there for everyone?
Yes, perfect, Josh.
Perfect. Yeah. So yes, the actual material themselves is Essex Ace plastic. There are a number of different types of material which you can use for aligners. However, the Dentsply products like Essex Ace, and they do provide absolute clarity and most of all kind of precision when moving teeth as well. Not to mention that they are very, you know, robust in nature, and so therefore, like other aligner companies, that might only last, say, a week or two in terms of the wear time before the aligners get a bit grubby, or they perhaps lose their flexibility. The SureSmile aligners with Essex Ace, they last a very long time. Overall, means that the teeth move a lot more predictably. It means that if in a treatment scenario where you might have provided some IPR, but maybe not quite enough, but you've kind of progressed forward and you want to, you know, go back to use previous trays after you've realized, actually, maybe I should go back and do a bit more stripping between the teeth or some polishing, then it allows you to go back to a certain number of trays. I don't know any other aligner brand that allows, you know, the precision to be able to do that with the Essex Ace material. The actual aligners themselves, some of the new concepts and protocols that have been put in place with the SureSmile aligners is that you have the option to do variable trim height. So you can opt for up to 2 millimeters of trim height above the line of the gingival margins. You can also have scallop gingiva, which again, we're using this more and more now, especially for different types of tooth movements. So for instance, rotations, you want more scallop to really reach into the embrasure areas. However, for things like expansion, arch development, bodily movements and torquing of teeth, you want a lot more trim height to be able to give you less flexibility in the tray, a lot more control and movement where you want it. We have the ability to add Pontics for any missing teeth to close any gaps. Great as well if you're opening spaces for microdont laterals, things like that. Now the actual attachments themselves, full control over what type of attachments you want. It allows you to be very creative now that you're actually able to bring the attachment within the tooth. So I'll probably demonstrate that in a second. But like I said, you can actually make your own attachments in a way. The way that you can move and adapt and manipulate the shape of all the attachments means that you can really be, you can really customize the treatment to that patient. Not to mention that we're now including button attachments and hooks as well, or cutouts, I should say. And using some of the other products such as the Dentsply space files and things, and SDR, which I use to put the attachments on, and Pontics in, it is a great all-round service. Looking a bit more at the software itself, the software does allow 2D and 3D registration. So if you want to incorporate facial images, so you can work out a smile frame. If you want to incorporate KEF analysis as well, not to mention 3D with cone beam CT. And if I show you in some videos here, there we go. If these will play, I think. There we go. Now, this is a video showing exactly kind of before and after within the smile. So you can work out exactly how the patient will look at the end. Not to mention that you can adapt and build up the teeth within the software as well to show exactly what it might look like post-orthodontics with some bonding, or perhaps when you're building up teeth mesiodistally for you know, teeth that are on microdont level. Good. This is another example of a case where we showed the patient within their smile before they even begun. So this is a patient during the second consultation. They came in after having some scans and photos taken. We showed her what it might look like within her face if we were to move the teeth. And bear in mind that the patient has not committed to any treatment really yet at this point. We can physically show this patient what they're going to look like. Okay. Now, the versatility of the SureSmile Aligner platform allows not only for full service, where you can ask the laboratory to produce your aligners and send them to you within the whole SureSmile Aligner brand and boxing, but it does obviously allow you to export the models, export the files themselves, to be able to do in-office aligners if you wish to as well. And this is an example of a case where we're working through from start to finish. So this is the initial plan where we're looking at where the teeth are going to end up. Toggle tool that allows us to see where we're going from to where we're going to. And the different areas of display, such as in the mouth and the lips again, we have the ability to work out the exact tooth kind of movements and staging. And the bit that sets it apart for me, and also why I like to use SureSmile in almost all of my cases, no matter even just very simple tooth movement cases as well, is the ability to do the quality control, which I'll go into in a second. So from this moment, we can see the contacts. We can measure the tooth widths if we want to do a Bolton analysis. We have the ability to look at the incisal edges and the cusp tips as well, to really kind of look a bit deeper into just the tooth movement. It allows you to see within the teeth, really get that kind of definition that you're looking for when you're setting up an orthodontic case. Okay. We can work out the exact angles of the teeth. Now, bear in mind that this is a case which I used without a cone beam CT. So the computer is still very good at actually replicating where the roots are. However, this can obviously improve in accuracy if we're using the roots of the teeth as well. Good. Now, the workflow, it all starts from the beginning, collecting the records, submitting a prescription, which again, I'll just show you in a second. Once you have, modified the plan, you can show the patient this, you can share it with them, make sure they're on board with everything that you're going to do. They'll know exactly how many aligners it's going to take to get from start to finish. They know exactly the tooth movements and the result they're going to achieve at the end. Manufacturing aligners, again, Essex Ace material. And then obviously, as soon as they arrive, we can start the treatment. Okay. Now, more and more, I'm tackling cases that require sometimes a little bit of control with some braces, as well as doing some aligners as well. So this is an example case where we chose to do a lower fixed appliance with upper aligners. You can see how clear the aligners are on the upper arch there. And we just wanted to improve the speed a little bit at which that lower left incisor just kind of move forward. And so we just kind of got the teeth into a better alignment at the bottom. And then we decided to do a little plan to then finish this case in aligners very simply by tucking things in. Okay. The beauty about the SureSmile platform, again, is that it allows you to make little tweaks and aligners as part of the overall treatment, even if you didn't start them in aligners as well. And again, a little picture to show you, even with the attachments, even with the aligners out, how kind of clear the attachments can be and how discreet they can be as well. Okay. So it all starts by obviously scanning the patient. I've used the Prime Scan now for actually since it was released, to be honest. And you can really get your scan time down to less than it would take to take an upper and lower alginate impression. This was probably one of the biggest learning curves for digital dentistry for me, was learning how to scan effectively and quickly to make it efficient to do. And now every new patient consultation, I scan the patient. Starts as well with the x-rays. Obviously, Dentsply do provide a great service for digital x-ray equipment. And we have a choice. So as I mentioned before, we have a do-it-yourself aligner package where you can receive back from the lab your scans, and you can physically move the teeth yourself a little bit. However, full service seems to be more and more what I use. It's more and more what new dentists who are new to the system are using. This allows the technicians to send back a setup. It lets you to evaluate and even change, make comment on how to change, how to adapt that setup, and allows you to then order the aligners through the lab as well. We look at what we call the macros, which is the midline, the arch form class, the resolutions, to see how we're going to achieve alignment, whether we want to adapt the occlusal planes, and also any other little instructions. So we let the lab know these little bits and pieces, and then we can work from there. Once we have our setup, we have an option to then order the aligners from the lab and then receive the whole package. We can order the printed models, whereby we can make aligners themselves in-house, or we can export the files and print the models and also make the aligners in-house. We have the option for a complete package, which sends all of the aligners to you from start to finish, as well as selecting the aligners to only decide on which aligners you might need, which again cuts down on the plastic because you might not need them all in one go. And the precision with these aligners is second to none, in the sense that I'm finding that more and more my cases are finishing within one series of aligners. Less refinements, without a doubt. Simple cases such as this, you can very much guarantee that what you ask for is what you're going to receive, okay? So this was a patient who was a little bit bothered by the alignment of his upper teeth and more so the lowers. And within about 6 months, this patient was complete without any further refinements. And it really is about the precision for me and how accurate everything fits and the detail in which Dentsply go into when making the SureSmile aligners. Not to mention that there is a great educational tool available for everyone to learn from. It's almost like an unlimited resource of information that tells you everything about aligners, which I would recommend any new user as well as even experienced users to go to. So a very quick run through of my experience with SureSmile, some of the cases that I've done, and I hope you found it interesting. And if you do have any questions about some of the cases that I've done, I can't see them on my screen at the moment, but when I stop sharing my screen, I'll be able to answer anything there. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Dentsply is going to do in the future. They're always adapting, always changing, always adding new ways to improve predictability in the cases. So I'm looking forward to the future. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you, Josh. Thank you so much for sharing your presentation with us. It's great to see how you have incorporated SureSmile into your digital workflow and the success you've had with it in the practice. So now let's have a look at what to look for in aligners and how to choose the right platform for you, for your business, and of course, for your patients. The opportunity with clear aligners is vast and can make a rapid impact on your business's revenue and profitability. So how do you know who the right company to partner with is? There seem to be so many aligner providers out there that it can be hard to choose the right one. So let's have a look at what questions you should think about when considering this. Firstly, does it provide a fully digital workflow with an open platform? So does the company provide a fully digital workflow? Do they only accept digital scans, which, as we've seen, will produce the most effective and accurate treatment plans with the most accurate models and aligners? Or do they accept traditional analog impressions, which will impact the quality and outcome of the treatment? Secondly, does it provide accuracy with clinically advanced treatment planning? So does the platform provide a solution to treat the simplest to the most complex cases with a range of clinical treatment planning tools that will grow with your experience from beginner through to advanced? Next, you should consider, does it guarantee the best aligner quality? So the quality and accuracy of the software planning is of the highest importance. But of equal importance is the aligners produced and the high quality manufacturing process. What is the quality of the actual aligners? How strong and resilient is the plastic? And how clear is the plastic? Next, you should consider, does it provide a positive patient experience? Your patient's experience should be at the forefront of your reasons. After all, without your patients, you would have no business. Going digital not only provides the most comfortable patient experience, but the most accurate treatment plan and outcomes. You could also leverage the digital impression as part of the patient's first appointment and wow them with the technology. Digital impression taking really acts as a marketing and selling tool and helps sell the treatment. And you should also look at, does it provide a customer-focused approach? So what sort of partner will they provide you with for you? What sort of experience do they have in the dental industry? And what sort of infrastructure do they have in place? And lastly, the most important aspect for your business growth and development is price. The price you pay for the product and the price you charge to your patients. So we've heard from Daniela and Josh about how SureSmile can positively impact the business. So when we take these points into consideration, let's have a look more specifically at what SureSmile can bring to your practice and how we can support you. The SureSmile Aligner system is powered by a robust, clinically driven digital treatment planning platform that ensures the clinician is in full control. Digital orthodontics is the reality of the future. It's universal, and with SureSmile, the sky is the limit. SureSmile is not just a brand that sells aligners, it's much, much more than that. So let's have a look at the history behind SureSmile. SureSmile has a long history in biomechanics, starting life as Aurametrics in 1998, founded by a German engineer who was famous for his robotically bent arch wire systems and digital orthodontic treatment plans. And following a period of 20 years of innovation in digital orthodontic planning and customized orthodontic appliances, Dentsply acquired Aurametrics in 2018, and this was the same year that SureSmile Aligners were launched. And we're very proud to be able to say that since our launch in 2018, we've produced over 33,000 aligner cases, which in effect is in excess of 1 million individual aligners. So as mentioned before, SureSmile is there to support you on your full ortho journey. Whether you're interested in offering full service aligners within our aligner platform, or if like Daniela and Josh, you would like to look at more complex cases, for example, hybrid treatments, some IDB, we have our ortho platform. Then if you're wanting to plan much more complex cases with lingual and labial brackets, for example, or use our famous customized bent arch wire system, we have our advanced platform. So no matter which of the platforms, we offer you an open workflow. And this means that we can accept STL files from any scanner on the market. And as mentioned, our lab technicians have well over 20 years of experience. And as you've seen from Daniela and Josh's work, we have the natural smile design, which is an excellent feature for you. So let me play this short video to show you the clinical capabilities within the software. And let's hope that Zoom will work for me. As we've seen from Daniela and Josh's presentation, we can also link 2D and 3D images for superior treatment planning. SureSmile has a lip trace technology, which you can see playing now in the video, and this allows you as the clinician to see the natural position of the teeth within the patient's mouth, and this allows for greater visualization and treatment planning. SureSmile has far superior diagnostic tools than any other platforms, with the option to include CBCT data. After all, you as the clinician, you're making orthodontic movements with the teeth, so you need the full diagnostic picture to be able to do so most effectively, and you'll be able to see the root and bone movements. And you can see the video playing for us now to show us this. As mentioned, the aligner quality is of the utmost importance, and all our models are printed on state-of-the-art carbon printers. The Essex Ace Plastics is then thermoformed and laser trimmed to provide the clearest aligners with outstanding aesthetics. So now let me hand over to my colleague Libby for a short demonstration on how to use the planning software. Libby, over to you.
Thank you, Emma. Good evening, everybody. I'm Libby. I'm one of the SureSmile specialists in the UK. So I'm now going to spend about 10 minutes showing you what the interface of the software looks like, how to upload a patient, and then how to order your aligners once you've got the plan back from the lab. So you all should be able to see my screen now. And this is just demonstrating the interface of the SureSmile Aligner platform. So Emma mentioned earlier, we do have 3 different platforms: Aligner, Ortho and Advanced. So this is what the Aligner platform looks like. We have a tasks bar. So this is where you're going to get notifications when you've got things to do, such as upload patient data and review cases when they come back from the lab. We've also got our patients tab and patient overview, and this is where you can look at all your patients in this nice thumbnail view, so you can see what's going on and keep up with where they are in their treatment. We then have the shipments tab, and this is where you can track when your aligners have been dispatched, and you will get a tracking number to do this as well, so you're going to know exactly what day and time your aligners will be arriving. And then the jobs task is if you download any STL files, and this enables you to print aligners and models in-house. I'm now going to demo the new patient option and how to upload a new patient. So you literally just log on. It's a cloud-based software, so you can log on to it from any laptop, computer or device. You don't need to install the software onto any scanner. So you just simply click new patient, and then you just start by typing out the patient's name and date of birth. And then you select which doctor is going to be treating the patient. So we enable you to add multiple users to an account. So for example, if there's a practice that has a number of associates that want to use SureSmile, we're more than happy for you guys to add these associates onto the account, and then you can just filter the patient by the doctor. We also have the option of adding staff and any admin that want to go on and maybe upload patient data and do a lot of the work for you. What also we have as an option, which isn't shown at the moment, is another drop-down menu we can add, which is called Site. This enables us to add different postal addresses to the account as well. So for example, if you're an associate working at multiple practices, you can have just the one account, and then you can, when you're uploading a patient, you can just add the site and where that patient is going to be. Or for example, if there are maybe a practice principal who owns multiple practices, again, we can add these accounts, these sites under the one account, which is a really nice feature. So once you've added all that information, the next thing you're going to do is upload your STL files. So we are a completely open system. We accept STL files from any scanner on the market that can scan an upper and lower arch, but we do obviously have a seamless link with the Prime Scan. The seamless link with the prime scan or the OmniCam as well enables you to just skip out this stage of manually uploading the STL files. It just means that the STL files will automatically upload onto the patient that you've created on the software. But either way, it's a really simple, straightforward workflow. If you did want to add any CBCT data for a more in-depth diagnosis and analysis, you just click this button here and we have a list of certified CBCT units which we would validate and also then enable you to add that data as well. Then you just simply click next and you then upload a series of photographs. And this is just demonstrating the photographs that we would require for SureSmile. As you can see, we have the ability to upload an OPG or a CAF, but these are optional on the Aligner platform. So X-rays are recommended, but you don't have to take the X-rays. However, we do need all of these photographs for treatment. This just means the lab can see exactly what's going on in the patient's mouth. Once you've uploaded your photographs and X-rays, you will then go to the dental exam. The dental exam is just simply a tooth chart where you're going to list any missing or unerupted teeth. So for example, if a patient have had all their 5s extracted and their 8s haven't erupted, you simply just highlight that there. And then finally, the all-important prescription. So this is where you're going to be able to communicate with the lab what you want doing with the patient. So now you've uploaded all the information. The first thing you're going to select is whether you want to treat the upper or the lower arch or both arches. And then on the Aligner platform, we give you two options, the ideal or custom. If you click the ideal button, the digital lab will receive all of this information. They will then take this information and create a setup that is appropriate for that patient. If you click the custom button, this then opens the drop-down menus for our prescription form, which we abbreviate as the macros, where you can discuss the midline, the arch form, the class, resolution, occlusal plane, and any special instructions that you might have for the lab. So we give you the option of either clicking ideal for a bit more of a smoother, quicker workflow, or a custom option for a little bit more clinician control. Once you've done this, you then click next and you confirm the order, and that goes straight off to the lab. So the beauty about SureSmile is the fact that what you can do with your patients is you can scan a patient, you can take the patient's photographs, and you can send all of this to SureSmile. And until you actually click order, there's going to be no charge. So this works really, really nicely for patients that want to know how long they're going to be in their aligners for, how much it's going to cost them, and you can get all of this information, and then there's no cancellation fee. So once this then comes back from the lab, you're going to get a reminder and you're going to get an email that you've got a case that needs reviewing, and you're going to get a notification in your tasks bar. I'm going to show you how to get there from the Patients tab, and as you can see, a notification saying setup and staging to review, which hasn't been ordered. So you simply just click that for this patient, and it takes you to the overview on how to review your setup. So I'm just going to click the photographs off so we've got a bit more of a bigger window. And this is displaying a model that has been uploaded with CBCT data. So if I just get rid of the soft tissue, you can see that demonstrated here. And then you can work through our different views here. So you've got the occlusal view. And then what you can do is compare and just toggle before and after treatment. So you can do this from a number of different views. And you can also then spin the model around from different angles and toggle before and after. And also finally from the labial view. Or for a more comprehensive analysis, you can work through the quality tabs, which Josh touched on earlier. So you can review the patient's contact points, the tooth widths, the cusp tips, any marginal ridges, and then also, again, looking at it from different views and different angles, and then toggling before and after treatment as well. So lots of different tools for you to use when it comes to reviewing what comes back from the lab. And then finally, the all-important staging. You can then work through the video. So you click the play button, and this is going to show you how the teeth are going to move throughout treatment and at what stage they're going to be at. So as that video plays along, I'm just going to talk you through what we're looking at. So the first thing we can look at here is this purple box. This is basically a little sign that shows you where the attachments are going to go. So this is telling you attachments are to be placed on the first appointment with the patient. And this image that's appeared now is going to show you exactly where the attachments are going to go. We've then got the orange arrows, which indicates any IPR that needs to be carried out with the patient. And then, as you can see, IPR is recommended every 4 stages. And again, it's going to show you where the IPR is going to go. So really nice, simple overview and really easy to follow. As you can see, the patient's in 20 aligners, and then the R is the retainers. And these grayed out boxes here are our passive aligners. So this patient will have finished treatment after aligner 16 in the upper, and then can continue to wear her passive aligners until she's completely finished her treatment when she's reached to aligner 20. If you ever need to know what's going on and what all these little signs mean, we also have our legend box here, which you can refer to, and this just gives you an overview of what everything means. And then finally, once you're happy, you can order the aligners, but if you do want to make any modifications, you just click this little box here, and then you click request modifications, and you can just type to the lab what you want doing and what you want changing, click submit. The lab will get this information, make the changes that they need to, and then you can review the model again. Or if you're happy with it, you just click order aligners. I don't have the order aligner box on my demo account, just so I don't go crazy and order aligners for all my friends. But it is exactly where the submit button is. So Emma, that brings me to the end of my software demonstration.
Lovely. Thank you, Libby. It's great to see how simple the software is to use. So I'll just reshare my screen with you all again. So on signing up to SureSmile, we provide you with access to our award-winning e-learning platform, SureSmile U, which has been mentioned earlier in the presentation. And this has a full array of education, modules, clinical papers, videos and tutorials, and access to our specialist digital lab team, as well as monthly live training events with expert clinicians. We also provide you with full marketing support with patients' leaflets, waiting room videos, social media posts, or even banners. We're always there to support you. So to summarise, why go digital with SureSmile? Well, we want to help you differentiate your practice with the smart SureSmile technology and choose a fully digital workflow. In turn, that will reduce your chair time and allow you entry into other digital workflows, not just aligners. And in turn, this will empower your full dental team. This will grow your practice and build revenue quicker than any other treatment. And for your patients, it is fast, effective, and precise with excellent results and aesthetics. Partner with us and SureSmile, and we will diagnose with you. We will treatment plan with you, and we will get results with you. And finally, as we wrap this evening up and before we open up for questions, here's a quick summary of Dentsply Sirona and how we can support you on your full digital journey. Dentsply Sirona is the largest global manufacturer of dental equipment and supplies across the world, and we have many manufacturing sites. Our main SureSmile manufacturing site is in Dallas, Texas, and with such an increase in demand, we are in the process of opening up an additional manufacturing site. Our purpose and mission: every day we empower dental professionals all over the world to provide millions of patients with better dental care and make people smile, empowering through innovation. As the global technology and innovation leader in the dental industry, we spend over $150 million every year to advance dentistry and have the largest R&D platform in the industry with over 600 scientists and engineers. Dentsply Sirona research creates the insight and knowledge needed to develop next generation solutions, often collaborating with others who share the same goal. At any point in time, we are engaged in more than 50 clinical studies, testing innovations to prove they're safe, effective, and can be used with confidence. Every year, these efforts enable us to launch over 30 innovative solutions that empower dental care. Our digital solutions go much further than just aligners. It spans across a number of digital implant workflows with solutions like Azento and Simplant, as well as digital restorative workflows with Atlantis and InLab. Whatever the need, we have a digital and seamless solution for it. And with that, I hope you'll consider letting us be the partner on your digital journey. And if any of the digital solutions or technologies are of interest to you, you can at any time book a one-to-one consultation with one of our product specialists. Simply go to our website and click on the orange Book Online Consultation and choose from a variety of digital solutions and technologies and secure a free 45-minute one-to-one consultation. So on that note, let me hand back to our speakers tonight, Dr. Daniela and Dr. Josh, and hear what hot topics you have coming for us.
I'll let
Thanks, Josh.
Daniela go first, since I took the first spot the first time.
Lovely, thank you. And so Daniela.
Yeah.
Daniela, I believe you have some exciting hot topics for us.
When I start my work with Dentsply Sirona in Brazil, I started with a process. Now I work with the integration. And this integration for me is the best, because here in São Paulo, in my clinic, I can work with prostheses, implants, and orthodontics. I talked to you, I worked for 18 years with other companies. And now with SureSmile, my mind is open for other possibilities, because SureSmile is more fast, SureSmile is fantastic. I have more results in my patients, and SureSmile is not a company that sells aligners only. SureSmile is a platform, a fantastic platform, because with SureSmile I have all possibilities. I have the freedom. I can work how I want. Consequently, this is extremely important for me.
Lovely. Thank you, Daniela. And Josh?
Thanks, guys. Touching on the freedom that Daniela mentioned brings me up to my kind of hot topic, which is the use of aligners in almost every single orthodontic case that I do, whether I might start the patient in something like a fixed appliance to get the bulk of the treatment moving initially, because patients don't tend to like to wear something like a fixed appliance, like a fixed brace. And so usually the compromise, which I say to these kind of patients, is to do something like a hybrid treatment, where I might start the patient in a brace. After a simple alignment, we take over from that point with aligners to do our space closure and our finishing. And patients seem to love that approach, where we're reducing the treatment time, we're ensuring that they're getting an aesthetic appliance to work with for the bulk of the treatment as well. And I say that with the Dentsply and SureSmile platform, it does give me the ability to do this very easily, spanning the different elements of treatment, and being able to have open access and order the aligners if and when I need them. So this is kind of my, I suppose, little pearl of information, is that there's so much more you can do with the software than just order the aligners. You can really change your treatment plans based on what the SureSmile platform offers. So that's my little piece of information there. Thanks, guys.
Lovely. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Daniela, and thank you, Josh. Great for sharing that information with us. So on that note, thank you so much for attending our Let's Talk Digital Aligners. So we'll have a Q&A session now, and I'll pass over to my colleague Charlotte, Charlotte, have we had many questions within our chat facility?
Hi, thank you, Emma, for that brilliant presentation. Yes, we do have a few questions. So I'll start with the first one. The first one's to you, Josh. So how would you advise I get my principal on board who isn't ready to go digital with the aligners yet?
This is quite a tough question, and that's why I asked to maybe discuss it rather than just type it out, because I'd be here all night. But yeah, that was exactly the situation that I was faced, because I am an associate dentist. I don't own a practice, and I do work between multiple practices. So I needed a solution that would span both between two practices. I would allow me to order aligners to different sites, as Libby mentioned. And also, speak to my principals to say, this is something I want to be able to do and offer to my patients. Is this something that you'd be on board with? And, when I showed them the platform and the fact that we were very much Dentsply orientated practices already, it was a no-brainer. If you're an associate, then obviously you can bring that to the table as well, in the sense that the lab fees for aligners are, a lot more competitive than some of the other brands as well. And the results you'll achieve in the same amount of time, as other aligner platforms are, very comparable. So you can say to the principal dentist that I can achieve more with less, essentially. So that's how I approached my principals at the time, and I've never looked back since.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah, for the question as well. The next one is from Anita Patel. So thank you for the presentation again, Josh. What was the biggest challenge that you faced when going digital, if any?
Well, it was a tough one for me, because I started in dentistry at the time where digital was just taking off. So I didn't just have to learn the digital, I had to learn how to do it analog first. And that's always one of the most important things. But digital is very much taking over, and it's in the learning curriculum now. So younger dentists, new dentists are being taught this very early on, which is great. My biggest challenge was just what you can do with it. So with a scan, you can send it away, get appliances made, do wax ups, do everything. It's not just the same as taking an impression. And so this was one of the biggest things for me. It was more just the possibilities that were out there. And yes, there's techniques in scanning and things, which does take time. But I guess it's just opening your mind to what you can do with the digital scans that are available.
Brilliant, thank you. So the next one, Daniela, is for you. We've got Peter who would like to hear more about your clinic. What percentage do you do with fixed aligners, fixed and aligner cases?
90% with aligners, 10% with brackets, because I learned to visualize orthodontic forces and movements in a different way for the aligner system. I improved the technique until I felt very safe to treat class 1, 2, 3 cases, expand arches, perform large distalization, treat cross bite, open bite, deep bite, and other treatments. So that my patients love aligners, scans, prostheses made in CEREC system. My professional career was always linked to the digital dentistry. So patients come to my clinic and are amazed by our practical, fast, and accurate workflow. And a satisfied patient indicates another 3 patients who in turn will refer to others. And so we have become a reference in aligners. Because of that, I have patients more focused on digital dentistry with aligners.
Brilliant, thank you. It's good to know. And then we've got Nina has asked a question about how do you prevent relapse, Josh, during your hybrid treatments, following from fixed appliance and prior to commencing your aligner treatment?
That is a great question, actually. So one of the ways and one of the benefits of using the SureSmile platform for this exact treatment is that it's a very, very quick turnaround time to receive your orthodontic setups. And because you have open access to be able to export the STL files from any stage in the treatment, you can actually, get the patient in aligners very, very quickly by, say, exporting the first 1 or 2 aligners, or printing the aligners yourself in-house, for example, and then making your first, say, aligner or 2 very early on, within a matter of days, and then get the process started. So then you can order, say, aligners 3 to how many other aligners you might need, and they're going to arrive in the post. So while the patient is currently doing their first, say, second aligner, then there's no waiting time. Like, for instance, say 2 or 3 weeks that some aligner companies take to the post. And this is the way I get around it. So there is no really interim retention. I can just get them started almost straight away.
Brilliant, thank you, Josh. And then probably one for our team from Shahab, a possibility of a photo upload app. I think it's the multi-dollar question there, whether or not there is anything coming or whether we can feed it back to our developers. Libby, can I ask you that? Sorry, I can see you looking at me.
Of course you can, yeah. Hi Shahab, thanks for joining. So yeah, at the moment we don't have that facility, but it's definitely something that has been asked and we have fed back to our developers. So yeah, watch this space.
Fingers crossed. Thank you. Not a problem. Thanks for joining us tonight. Do we have any more questions? I'll just give it a couple of minutes whilst I can see people typing on there. Oh. Like Emma said, just before she finished her presentation, just whilst we're waiting for some more, we do have online booking appointments available. Following this presentation, you will all receive an email telling you how to book on if you did want to know any further information with a member of our sales specialist team. Right there. Oh, sorry, just as we're about to finish, just one more. Sorry, for you, Daniela there. So have you used a lot of aligner systems? And what is the main difference for SureSmile? I think this is quite a common question. From the poll at the very beginning, quite a few people stated that they were a bit confused between aligner systems and how they made that how to make that decision to go to the right one.
The effect of being an orthodontic platform and not just an alignment planning and delivery software. I can choose how I want to work. I have mastery on this technique. I can choose to work with brackets, aligners, and both. I can plan orthodontic surgery, integrate the X-ray, CPCT, scan, and photos. I have the possibility to visualize crowns, bone, and roots. The sum of so many benefits completely enchanted me about SureSmile, and mainly because it complements my digital flow 100 Dentsply Sirona. SureSmile is different, but it's complete because with SureSmile I have more possibilities to see the face of the patient and to integrate with bone, and I have the possibility to choose how I want to work.
Brilliant, thank you. That's amazing to hear from a clinician. So I've just been messaged as well, Shahab, if you're still on, we do have a member of our marketing team watching this tonight who has been working really closely with our R&D team, and they are developing some really exciting updates. So watch this space for the future. Hopefully we may have an app. Okay. Do we have any more questions before we sign off for the evening? Amazing webinar. I'll read some comments out. We have some very positive feedback from our colleagues. There we go. I think we're about there for our questions.
Perfect. So on that note, Charlotte, thank you to Dr. Daniela and Dr. Josh for joining us tonight, for your presentations and for sharing your wonderful work with us. And thank you all to yourselves for joining us on our Let's Talk Digital Aligners event. I hope you've all found it very informative, and I hope you all consider SureSmile as your aligner provider. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mm.